everybody. This is Liz from the Arthur Murray Mesa Gilbert team, and we're going back to our All About Ballroom Saturday class. So I'm excited. This week's class is all about navigation. So without getting into the details of specific dances really today, I want to more give you an overview, something to think about, something to kind of ponder, maybe move around your living room a little bit. You might have objects in the way that you can practice navigating around. And even if you're a follow, this can be really helpful information just to understand what the leader's goals are so that you can help in those goals. Okay, sometimes as a follow, we can unintentionally be kind of roadblocking our own leader, if you will. And sometimes as a leader, we can be, no pun intended, misleading, misguiding for our follower by not making it clear where we're trying to go. So I want to help both sides a little bit, want to help the leaders mostly feel more confident that they know what their end game is. So without further ado, so typically what we call something line of dance is moving counterclockwise against the dance floor. If you enjoy or have seen NASCAR, it's the same concept. We're going to be moving counterclockwise in the room. Going against that typically is like going the wrong way on the highway, but as you'll see today, there's some cases where a little bit of back movement's allowed. It's not like insanely prohibited, but the end goal is generally we want to move around the floor going counterclockwise or line of dance. Now, I can't promise that for everywhere you go, especially a little social place, bars where drinks are there, but it's helpful for you, so even if there's people stationary and you're trying to move, or maybe you're stationary and you see people trying to get around you, to have an idea of where they're trying to go. Also, just kind of like the highway, typically the HOV lane is a little bit faster, or more of the outer lanes are, and the right lanes are more where traffic's coming in and out. We almost reverse that though for the dance floor. On the outside here, the farthest part closest to the floor where people are getting on and off is actually typically where the faster people are going, where we're trying to move and move and move and go and go. And then if you're trying not to move so much, let's say you're trying to move not at all, you would go towards the middle of the room and let people, they might literally be dancing circles around you, but it doesn't mean they actually are figuratively. So there's a lot of music where you can do maybe swing dancing while other people are two-stepping or doing foxtrot. Totally acceptable. Just help out in general by if you are doing swing or when you switch to swing dancing that maybe it's either in the corners or more towards the center of the floor so that if there are people that want to move or travel, can go kind of mid to the outside of the floor and use that more as a racetrack, if you will. Okay? Now, hopefully that kind of makes sense. We're going to talk about how to get line of dance from here to there. For today's purposes, I'm going to kind of use the screen as a tool to help me demonstrate this. What I mean by that is there's lots of different ways I can get from here to here. I can do what I just did, which is just simply walk to that spot that I want to get to. This is actually would be line of dance in the studio. I'm trying to head that way. Then I could just walk that way. Now, like I said earlier, I'm not going to put necessarily a specific dance to this. This could be two-step. This could be foxtrot, it could be tango, it could be waltz, and that'll kind of get into the next piece, meaning it doesn't always have to be a straight line. So for waltz, let's say I'm doing change steps, I'm taking little side steps, but my overall goal is still to get in that direction. Make sense? So if I take specific dances out of it again. Go back just to walking. If I want to get to that spot, and I can't just walk straight there, I could come towards you and then get to where I want it to be. I could go away from you for a little bit, come towards you, zigzag the whole way, but eventually I still make it to here. It might take longer, but we're dancing. There's no rush, we're having fun. Enjoying the moment and life's slow. And we can also maybe zigzag a little bit and then walk. It can be any combination if you're starting to pick up what I'm putting down here. So I can do circles there. I still get to my spot. That would be seen sometimes in like more advanced waltz dancing or Viennese. Maybe I'm turning, but I'm still getting to my end goal. Okay? I can also maybe turn a little bit and walk backwards to get there. Maybe I turn and walk backwards for a second and then turn and go forward again. Basically, just like if you were walking down the street, but instead of having just one solid path, you have a whole open floor to get from point A to point B. And point B is just always going to be something in front of you. So for example, maybe I start back here, hey! And my point B is to get where I just was. And now I'm running out of room, so my new point B is this way, line of dance. Again, it doesn't always have to be a straight line. Maybe I curve this because there's people here. And then I'm going and, there's people in front of me, there's people on either side. I can't go anywhere. Sometimes what we forget about is we can back up. Think of it almost like a little three-point turn. Depending on the dance, sometimes actions like this, now it can be swingy like that, even if it's tango. Maybe it's just forward and back for a moment. You're still moving, and then when the room clears, you can move. Or sometimes maybe those are all stationary dancers and they realize after doing this, they're not moving anywhere anytime soon. Now you have to maybe figure out a new route and go way out of your way to get around, or almost backtrack to get around them. If I had you in person, I'd ask if that makes sense, but I'm going to hope it does for today. So, when we get stuck, a couple options. If you can't go forward, can you go to the side? And you start just turning this into like solving an equation and just going through the checklist, and eventually you get really quick at going through that checklist so much that you're not even realizing what you're doing. But for right now, like as you're learning it, it'll be a slow process. So followers, be patient with your leaders. If you try this, trust me, it doesn't come instantly to anybody. I've yet to ever see it. If I see that miracle Einstein baby dancer, I will let you know. But it's going to take some time to develop. Okay, I can't go forward. Can I go side? Or maybe there's people and I can't really travel side to side. Can I just, here I'll step back, can I just dance side to side in place? Can I maybe turn it so we're still doing something before we move again? Okay? If I can't go side, again, can I go backwards? Can I back up? Can I maybe look over my left shoulder and see if there's anyone there? Just like driving, the more you get used to dancing, the more you'll start being aware of your surroundings anyway. So you'll, as you're dancing, kind of take mental note of where people are and where it kind of looks like they're going. For some of us, that might be hard to fathom, our brain doing such a thing, but you do it every day. If you're driving, you kind of take a mental note of where people are, and again, it'll start clicking more and more, and maybe you navigate quite well on the dance floor now, but haven't really thought about paying attention to anticipating other people's movement. That I would start challenging you to do the next time you get on a floor, is you start moving and know that this couple is coming up and it looks like they're gonna be passing you, so I wouldn't wanna do something that dives to the right and jump in front of them. I'd have to brainstorm a little quick differently and say, okay, even though that side is open right now, it's about to be taken, so maybe I'm just gonna hang out and wait for them to go because I don't have any other options. You can always fall back on a hangout dance for whatever dance it may be. Even if you're doing, like, let's say a waltz, and it's just follow away twinkles back and forth. Even advanced dancers can make that look super gorgeous and graceful. You can add some shaping to it and repeat it, play with the shaping. If you're not there yet, or if you're not working on twinkles, and let's say it's waltz, one, you could just hesitate. 1, 2, 3, you could go forward and back, forward and back. All right, I have thrown a lot at you guys today to think about. I'm gonna go ahead and pause there, give you some time to ponder. Who knows, you challenge yourself. Create a little obstacle course in your house and try to figure out different ways of maneuvering around it. Maybe you have a chair here, and the first time you go around it to the right. Next time, maybe you go around it to the left. Maybe the next time you stop behind it for a second and then get around. Get creative. I know it's not always a fun time to be stuck at home. We wish you were here dancing with us so bad, but this will be a great time for you to play around and find out a lot about yourself. Thanks, guys.